Hey there, welcome to our channel. If you enjoy emotional, real-life stories that touch the heart and make you think, you're in the right place. Today's story is one you don't want to miss, full of twists, second chances, and unexpected heroes. Before we dive in, let us know in the comments where you're watching from. We love hearing your stories too. And don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the bell icon so you never miss a powerful new video. A life-changing moment might be just one story away. Let's begin. A mother's love isn't always born. Sometimes it's earned. When Melissa married Brian, she knew stepping into the role of a stepmom wouldn't be easy, especially with Logan, 13, and Emma, 10, still holding on tightly to the memory of their mom. But she was ready to cook their favorite meals, help with homework, drive them to soccer practice, and show up for every school event. She didn't want to replace anyone. She just wanted to love them like her own, but from day one it was clear they didn't want her there. "She's not our mom," Logan snapped one evening, arms crossed tight. "Yeah, she's trying to kidnap us," Emma added, her little face full of frustration. Melissa froze. The words stung more than she expected. Still, she took a deep breath, walked back toward the kitchen, and tried to keep her voice calm. "I'm not here to take your mom's place," she said softly. "I'm just here because I care." But the kids weren't ready to hear that. That night, Melissa made their favorite mac and cheese with crispy bacon on top, just the way their dad said they liked it. She set it on the table, hopeful. But Logan wrinkled his nose. "This is so much worse than Mom's cooking," Emma chimed in. "I can make it better myself." Melissa chuckled lightly, trying not to show how much it hurt. "Well, I hope you're at least a little hungry. I made extra." Dinner was quiet, tense. The kids didn't look at her, didn't say thank you. When she asked about their day, they shrugged. When she offered help with Emma's school report, she got nothing but eye rolls. "Why do you care anyway?" Logan muttered. "Because I was a nurse," Melissa replied, "before I met your dad." "Yeah, right. You probably just sit at home living off his paycheck." That stopped her. She didn't defend herself. She didn't tell them how she'd once pulled 12-hour shifts in the ER, or how she gave up that career to support their father's schedule so someone could be there when they got home, so someone could be present. Because deep down, Melissa believed that if she just stayed patient, if she just kept showing up, they'd come around. And when Brian had to leave for an emergency shift, Melissa did what she always did, stepped in. "Don't worry," she told him. "I've got this handled." She turned to the kids. "Why don't you get in your pajamas and cue up a movie? I'll make some popcorn." But they weren't interested. They had other plans. Quiet whispers, a slammed door, and then nothing. Melissa stood there for a moment, alone in the hallway, holding 2 bowls of popcorn that no one wanted. Her heart heavy, her mind racing. All she ever wanted was to be someone they could count. But in that moment, she wasn't sure they'd ever let her try. The silence in the house that night wasn't just quiet, it was loud. Too loud. Melissa stood in the hallway, still holding the popcorn. The living room lights flickered in the distance, the TV menu idling in the background. Waiting to play the movie no one was coming to watch. She knocked softly on Logan and Emma's door. No answer. She tried again. "Guys, it's movie time." Still, nothing. When she opened the door, her stomach dropped. The window was cracked open, their backpacks were gone, and so were they. Panic surged through her chest like a tidal wave. She ran for her phone, dialing Brian with trembling hands. "They're gone," she whispered, barely holding it together. "Logan and Emma. They ran away." 2 miles down the road, Logan and Emma trudged along the sidewalk, faces set with determination. The night air was cool, but their minds were burning with one idea: get to Mom's house. "If she knew how bad it was," Logan said, "she'd let us stay for good." Emma nodded. "She'll be so happy we came." They hopped a fence, cut through a quiet neighborhood, and finally found the apartment building their mom had moved into just a few months earlier. Lights were on upstairs. They climbed the stairs. 2 at a time, hearts pounding. When the door opened, their excitement shattered. "Logan? Emma?" Their mother blinked, surprised. "What are you two doing here?" "We came to stay with you," Emma smiled. "Just like before." Their mom hesitated. "Now's not really a good time." A little girl peeked from behind her, maybe 4 or 5 years old. "Mommy, who are they?" The woman froze. "They're nobody, sweetie. Go back to your room." Emma's face fell. Logan's fists clenched. "But we ran away." "We want to live with you," he insisted. "I told your dad I couldn't do this anymore. I didn't sign up for this tonight." She pulled the door slightly closed. "I'm sorry, I can't." And just like that, she was gone. Back at home, Melissa was pacing the floor. She'd called the police, but they couldn't file a missing report until 24 hours had passed. Brian had come rushing home, worry etched deep into his face. "What if they went to her place?" Melissa whispered. "What if she tells them the truth?" He nodded solemnly. "They're gonna find out why she left." Melissa's eyes filled with tears. "I don't care what they think about me. I just don't want them to feel unloved." An hour later, the front door creaked open. Melissa jumped to her feet. "We're back," Logan muttered. Emma looked down at her shoes, eyes red. Melissa ran to them. "Are you okay? Where did you go?" "We went to Mom's," Logan said quietly. Melissa's heart sank. She glanced at Brian, who remained frozen, waiting. Emma wouldn't meet anyone's eyes. She stepped past them both and sat on the bottom stair, curling her arms around her knees. "She didn't want us," she whispered. Logan dropped his backpack by the door. "She said she couldn't deal with us, that it wasn't a good time." Melissa didn't say anything. She couldn't. Her throat tightened as she watched their pain unfold. "I thought she'd be happy to see us," Emma added, eyes shimmering. "I thought she missed us." Logan tried to keep his composure, but the tremble in his jaw gave him away. "She has a new family now, a little girl," she told her. "We were nobody." Melissa slowly knelt down beside them. "I'm so sorry you had to hear that." "Did you know?" Logan asked suddenly, his voice sharp but not angry, just broken. "Did you know she didn't want us?" Melissa looked over at Brian. He nodded gently, giving her permission to speak. "Yes," she said softly. "We knew." "Why didn't you tell us?" Emma asked, tears now streaming down her cheeks. "Because we didn't want to hurt you," Brian said, his voice hoarse. "We thought maybe one day she'd come back around, maybe she'd be ready. But until then, we didn't want you to carry that weight. But it's worse now," Logan muttered. "Because we saw it. We heard it. She didn't even hug you." Melissa placed a hand on his shoulder. "Sometimes adults make choices for reasons even they don't understand. It doesn't mean you're not worth loving. It doesn't mean you're not amazing." "Then why does it feel like we're just leftovers?" he asked. Brian stepped in, kneeling beside them. "Because right now it hurts, and that's okay. You're allowed to feel this." "But you are not leftovers," Melissa said, her voice steadier now. "You are everything, and you always have been." Emma wiped her face with her sleeve. "We treated you so badly, and you still care about us?" Melissa smiled through tears. "Of course I do, every day, no matter what." For a long moment there was only silence. Then slowly, Logan leaned into her and wrapped his arms around her neck. "I'm sorry," he whispered. "I didn't know." Emma followed, clinging to Melissa tightly. "You're the only mom we need." Melissa closed her eyes and held them both, her heart full. In the quiet ache of their pain, something new had taken root, something real. It wasn't perfect, but it was love. And for the first time in a long while, it felt like they were finally becoming a family. Things started to settle after that night. Logan and Emma no longer called Melissa her. They started calling her Mom. But what they didn't see, what they couldn't see, was what Melissa was carrying behind the smiles, the packed lunches, and the warm bedtime hugs. Every morning, she was up before dawn, getting her 4-year-old daughter Lily dressed and ready for daycare. Then came the early shift at the diner, smiling at customers, dodging a manager who never hid his frustration about her mom's schedule, and rushing through double orders just to stay on time. By 3 p.m., she was driving across town to pick up Lily before heading straight to her HVAC certification class. She sat in the back of the room, exhausted but determined, taking notes and studying at night while Lily slept on her chest. She didn't complain. She didn't have time to. But things started to crack. It happened on a Wednesday. "Melissa, I need you to stay another hour," her manager barked as she wiped down a table. "Danny's running late." "I'm sorry, but I really can't," she replied, trying to stay polite. "I have to pick up my daughter from school and get to class. When I hired you, you said your kid wouldn't interfere with work. Am I wrong?" Melissa froze. "No, sir, you're not wrong. I'll figure it out." She didn't have a choice. She worked the extra hour, then sprinted to daycare, only to find the lights off and Miss Vanessa locking up. "You're late again, Melissa. That'll be another $100 late fee." "Please," Melissa begged, "I don't have it this time. Can't you just—" "No exceptions." She emptied her wallet, shaking hands, counting crumpled bills. She was $2 short. Miss Vanessa gave her a look but took the money anyway. That night, Lily was burning with fever. Melissa held her close, rocking back and forth, whispering, "It's okay, baby. Mama's here." The next morning, she called her boss. "I can't come in today. My daughter's really sick." "Melissa," he snapped, "we're done. You're fired." Just like that, her job was gone. She didn't cry. Not in front of Lily. She tucked her daughter into a warm blanket, kissed her forehead, and whispered, "Don't worry. Mama's going to figure this out." Later that day, she stood outside her classroom, notebook in hand, ready to take the test that could change everything. Her heart pounded not just with nerves, but with pressure. She was out of time. She had one last chance, and no safety net left to fall back on. But she wasn't just doing this for herself. She was doing it for Lily, and for the two kids who had just started calling her mom. The exam room was silent, except for the ticking of the clock. Melissa sat at the far corner, eyes fixed on the paper in front of her. Every answer she bubbled in felt like a leap of faith. Her thoughts raced. Did Lily take her meds? Did she sleep enough? How many more daycare late fees can I handle before they stop letting her in? But she pushed the noise out of her head. She had to. This was the final test. If she passed, she'd get her HVAC license. If she failed, well, there was no plan B. Time ran out. The instructor collected the exams without a word. Melissa walked out slowly, shoulders heavy. Outside, she pulled out her phone and called the daycare. "I'll be there soon, Miss Vanessa. Just, please don't close yet." She made it just, in time barely. "You're late again," Vanessa said coldly, arms crossed. "That's another $100 fine." Melissa was speechless. She looked down at Lily, holding her little hand. "Please," she whispered. "It's been a rough week. I lost my job. I really can't afford this." Vanessa didn't budge. "If you can't pay, I'll have to contact the authorities next time." Suddenly, a voice behind her spoke up. "I'll cover it." Melissa turned around. It was Jason, the guy from her class, the quiet one in the second row who never missed a lecture. "You?" she asked, stunned. "Why?" "I was at the diner last week," he said gently. "I saw how your manager treated you. Then I saw you today, rushing out of the building like the world was falling apart. I figured I should check in." Melissa didn't know what to say. Jason smiled. "Look, I know it's not my business, but I run a company, Titan Heating and Cooling. Maybe you've heard of it?" Her jaw dropped. "That's your company? It's huge. I like to take the class every few years to stay sharp and scout for people who don't just know the work, but live it." He looked at Lily, then back at Melissa. "You've been showing up every day, no matter what. That's the kind of person I want on my team." "I don't even know if I passed yet," Melissa said, her voice cracking. "You will," he replied. "And when you do, there's a job waiting." A week later, a letter arrived in the mail. Melissa opened it with shaking hands. Congratulations, it read. You've passed the licensing exam. Tears welled in her eyes. She scooped Lily up and spun her around. We did it, baby. We did it. Moments later, she picked up the phone. Jason, it's Melissa. I passed. I'm ready to work. His voice smiled through the line. Then welcome to the team. That night, Logan, Emma, and Lily sat curled up on the couch beside Melissa. She had no apron, no textbooks, no stress, just peace. For the first time in forever, she didn't have to fight to survive. She had made it, not alone. But as a mother, finally seen, finally chosen. We'd love to hear your thoughts on this powerful story. Have you ever experienced a situation where someone judged you before truly knowing who you were? Or maybe you've been in Melissa's shoes, working tirelessly, sacrificing your own dreams, just to give your loved ones a better life. Stories like this remind us that sometimes family isn't just about blood. It's about the people who show up, who choose us, and never stop fighting for us. If this story moved you, let us know in the comments below. What was the most emotional moment for you? Do you believe Melissa did the right thing by sacrificing her career? How would you define what it means to be a parent? And if you've ever had someone like Jason, a stranger who stepped in and changed your life, we'd love to hear that too. Sometimes the people who show us the most kindness are the ones we least expect. Drop your comment below. Share your experience, or just say where you're watching from. We read every single one. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss tomorrow's special story. Your words might just inspire someone else.